Morning. So wondering, well, procrastinating about what I want to paint today or this morning, watercolour or acrylic. There are things that I really enjoy painting, like the mountains, the Highlands, the North Wales mountains, the Lake District. But I like meadows as well, and meadows have been in short supply in the UK, well at least in England, because the hedgerows have been ripped out in favour of vast fields, to the detriment of the advantage of commerce, but to the detriment of the wildlife. But meadows are still springing up. Farmers are being a bit more generous in establishing areas of meadow grass with flowers, and essentially they're quite simple to do because you've usually got a few trees, a sloping field, green with contrasting reds and bits of blue for the cornflowers. That's what they are. But I'm just a sucker for that sort of painting. I've just got a new brush here. I haven't used, it's not new. It was, I probably picked this up 10 years ago, but I haven't got around to using it. I've got all my other ones, all various states of being worn out. Look, people ask me what brushes I use. Well, they're cheap Chinese brushes, and they've lost most of their hairs, and they're great. So that is what that was. Well, probably a bit smaller though. There you are. That's very similar. So I'm going to use all of those, and I'm going to try to do a simple meadow scene. I've got my palette here, Stay Wet. It's been on the membrane or on the sponge for some days now. So red for the poppies and mixing lovely greens, olive greens, drab greens, alizarin crimson, cerulean, which I won't use, ultramarine, burnt sienna. I should really put a smock on, but I'll take a chance. The problem I have is with my jeans. Look, I've got an apron here. Look at that. Can you see that? Look, a carpenter's apron. I'm going to put that on. Then that will cover my knees, where I usually manage to get spatters of paint on my jeans. All my trousers with my jeans have got lumps of paint stuck on them. So it doesn't do to use nice clothes when you're working with oil or acrylic. Watercolour's okay, it's soluble. Well, okay. So I'm going to put in with my little brush here some trees, just some trees with a bit of black, bit of red, bit of yellow. So I'll put the sky in later. Just get this working here. I can put some shadows in with some blue and red. So just very simple. I might go up higher with the field I'm going to put in. So let's try and get a balance of these trees. Get some darks. I'll go straight into the watercolour paper. No priming necessary really. The paint as it dries will be its own primer. So let's get some meadow grass in. Just quickly cover a bit of sienna. Yeah, just get the paper covered with something, and then we can work up some impasto. Use a bit of lemon yellow. bit of sienna, raw sienna, lemon yellow, mid yellow. I was going to go to, on my out of my bike today, to Croydon, if you've ever heard of it. This is a company called Class Olson that does cheap acrylics. No, I want to go there. I get my white, my big tube, pots of white, but this one, this Galleria, that cost me, that cost quite a bit. And it's quite thick, so very nice way to buy. Don't skimp on buying your whites. You need a lot more white than anything else. The other colours are just tints. Oh, let's just get that bashed in there. Bashed in is painting term. Bit of blue, I think I'll mix with that. You'll see, when you start using these brushes, these Chinese brushes, they shed lots of hairs, goat's hairs, but eventually they become good tools. Now I want some darker, so I'll put some sienna in there as well. Bit of shadow colours. See, that's the thing with acrylics, they take a bit longer to do than watercolours, because you can keep changing these, which you can't do with the watercolours so easily. So we can work at this until we get something happening. Stipple, all sorts of things with this. Sponges, I love the sponge. I'll go even higher, I'll go a bit higher with that. With this. This is a meadow after all, so we want more meadow than sky. So I'll go up to about there. And there's some bright greens. Take off any spare hairs. Not that it matters really. It's all part of the fun. Monet never took his bits of sand off of his beach scenes, did he? Right, I'm just going to no, I won't re-clip that yet. Right, let's go back with some nice shadowy colours. Yeah, I haven't even cleaned the brush yet. And they're really dark. These are just a shadow under the leaves, under the weight of the summer leaves. Well, I was down in Dorset a few weeks, well, 2 or 3 weeks ago. There are lots of meadows like this all around. Right, okay, I'll put that in soak. Let's do a bit of sky now. A very, very simple sky. Just blue and white. I'll have to clean my palette though. Right, okay. Plenty of cloth though, plenty of tissue. The thing is, don't labour your skies, just go in boldly. I've taken to painting down to the trees. I never used to, I used to do the skies first, but when you paint down into the trees or whatever's underneath, they have a greater impact for some reason. The white seems to be breaking down a bit. It's going a bit grainy. Right, so I'll some darker bits of blue in there. I'll put some warmer colours, some mocha in there. because I don't use raw sienna in the acrylic, in the acrylic oil. It's a bit weak. Go all over your outlines. And I'm building up a surface on the paper. It's sort of separating for some reason, but it doesn't matter. It's all working. Got to be economical as well, you know. Right, let's get the brush off and put a little bit of colour in there now. Bit of ochre, a touch of red down the horizon. Just warm it up a little. A nice sunny clouds. Right, let's reclip it. Go back and do a bit of foreground while that sky dries off a bit. Been busy this morning. Before 9:30 I cycled out to get the newspaper. I came back and washed the car. Right, look, we've got some oops, got my head, I'm listening to radio as well. It's talking. Got some bits of cloud in here, just gentle colour. I need more light in there. Sort of a vaporous type of sky we've got coming here. Just that blue and bit of cloudy stuff coming into this. I remember watching a demonstration at my art club where we used to watch Terry Harrison and Edward Wesson. One of our great lady painters now is Sherry Valentine Danes. She had a studio, or she had a studio, just outside Epsom, in Ashley, with her sister. And one day, Sherry couldn't make the demo. She had flu, so her sister came along, and I said, "Do you mind if I do the demo instead of my sister?" Of course. We didn't want to be diddled out of a demonstration, and she started to paint a landscape. And if she was ever stuck for skies, she'd take a little book out of her bag of John Constable paintings, because he was the great sky master of the type. I mean, not fair to compare him with his rival Turner. They were both fabulous painters in their own right. Right, well we've got a sky there. I'm going to do a bit of foreground now. I'm going to get the new brush back and start to work in some colour in those trees. So let's get some light in here. Right, I don't want darks in there. Dark. The black is a very good. It's a very good colour. Maybe a smaller brush now. So black, bit of blue. I'll have to go and buy some more black. So let's just. We've got to decide on the light. Light I'm going to put coming from there, so get some bluey sort of I've mixed black with the blue. I'm not going to angle the camera down because I usually forget to bring you up. So look, bluey greeny, shadowy colours. Oh, my easel's collapsed. Hold on. Oh dear. This is a great easel. It's this travelling sort of box. The Meadows, which are very good makes. I've had it years and years. Cost a lot of money, but then they got cheap, mass produced, probably in you know where, and are well. It's lasted me anyway, and I've taken it all on holidays. But these days I tend not to bother about painting in all the way. I'll take photographs, and paint with my mind. Right, that's a good bit of light grey in there. So you need your darks to play off your lights. And then we come right up here with this one. Right, I'm trying to make one tree dominant, or one clump of trees dominant, rather than try to make a regiment of them. Don't want to take too long on this. Get a bit of warm in there as well. It's acrylic is not sticky like oil. It goes on much. You can thicken it up with various gels. But right, we're coming on. See if we can get a realistic sort of yellow there. Not yellow, green. Just softly blend that a little bit. It's sort of dry, it's drying as it goes on. It's a lovely day today. It's going to warm up, but it's very cold this morning. Right, I just want to get in some of that shadowy colour. Putting more colour into this background here. Right, we'll leave that for now. We'll go back onto the foreground and I'll use one of my Stippling type brushes. No, that's not one. That's one there. And I'll do a bit of shadow. Trying to keep this all bright rather than dull with the black. All pastel-y sort of colours. Mixing raw sienna with lemon yellow, because that's what I've got in the palette. And then we'll get some nice greens. And we'll change the some shadows in there as well. Oh, just put in some lights on the horizon there. Right, get some grey. soften. And some bit of red in there, sort of poppies just showing up here and there. I will detail some poppies, but I just want to just give the hint that there's stuff going on in here. And this one here, Meadow. Right, back to that blue, red, bit of black, just to give it a bit of depth. I'm just using this brush to just the hairs here just to give a grassy effect. Oh. I don't know if you can actually see that, just fuzz that line there. No hard edges. Hard edges are sort of anathema to landscapes, as they are for buildings. When I did buildings or finished paintings, it was soft. Bring the walls into the sky, and the skies into the walls. It's just my backdrop for the flowers that I'm going to stipple it on. Let's get some green in there. Those hairs off. Stuck. I've not used any water in this, or medium, other than a bit of texture paste that I've got on the palette. Right, just drag over that, just to soften everything. And hopefully it starts to sort of vibrate between all the colours. It's the softness that is the thing. Right, a bit more shadows in here. We've got a surface now. Check over. Let's just come up. I mean, stretch the paper nice and flat. Right. I want to put some little bits of light back in here. Bit of white, bit of red, a touch of red. Bit of white, bit of sienna. Oh, you can keep doing this forever, which is what I seem to be doing at the moment. But I want the greens, I want some greens, warm greens on there, so that I can counter change. I miss a bit of burnt sienna with one of the yellows there. Right, put in some lights now. Too light. I don't want white, so I just want take a bit of that detail out there. Right, let's go in with the, well, no detail. Look, just dragging over the distance, the heat, haze. So that goes back into the distance a little bit. Right, get the stipple brush and we'll start trying to put in, could do it with a sponge really, but no, we've done the sponges. So I just mix a bit of white with the cadmium red, which just makes it more distant, pinky. Bring that pink up there into this. And right, let's use a different brush for that. Here's a poppy brush. Oh, it's got. One larger ones here and there. Bit of alizarin into the middle of some of these centres. Okay. And we'll put some other ones, like some white ones, or with a bit of well, just have some fun with a stipple. More blue, bit of alizarin. You can't paint every one, you just got to take a few and just do those. So some white and yellowy ones. Right, I want to do a bit more to that sky now. I'm not using a rigger on this other than to put a signature on it. Little clouds just wafting across the sky. Right, I'm not going to do any more to that. I'll sign it. That's well. Let's put that in the mount and see what we've done. I was watching Patrick, they Greaves yesterday, the watercolours. Oh, it's marvellous, some of the stuff. He subscribed to my channel and I subscribe to his. Have a look, it's a really lovely painting. So there we are, just another meadow, expressed in a different way. Let's. What I try to do is to get some nice glow on the top of that. It doesn't really show up so much where I'm looking from, but it shows up on the screen. So let's go in and have a wander around the picture. Sort of done. No detail whatsoever in that. No rigger work, no trunk showing, no twigs, no branches, but everything soft. Lots of colour. Let's come down to the bottom here. Look, just smudges of poppy colour and meadow stuff. Oops. Come down to the foreground. So there we are, another English meadow. Could be anywhere, but just an idea of how to paint some sort of impression of what really is a complicated scene, because you've got so much going on, but you have to try to make it interesting. I could put a figure in there, but I won't. I'll leave you to do that if you copy it. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.